So I'm just going to quickly show you all of the books on my TBR, and I honestly don't know who I think I am. Hi everyone, and welcome to One Piece Pick a Book for December 2024. So unfortunately I didn't manage to finish my October TBR, which was the last time I played this game, because I think I didn't manage to read A Shadow in the Ember. I think I read everything else off that TBR. I just didn't manage to get to A Shadow in an Ember, which is unfortunate, but it's fine, because now I need to go back to the start for this month because I didn't complete my TBR, which means I get a punishment for not finishing my TBR. And it's fine, I can deal with it, but it's just a bit frustrating. And I think from 2025 onwards, I'm also going to add in another spin, but for this month, I'm not going to do that. So let's now jump straight into the rolls, because there's no point making this intro go on for any longer. So now let's just jump straight into the roll. Okay, for this month, One Piece Pick a Book will look very different, because I've actually already filmed this portion of the video and then I lost all of my footage, so I just need to give you guys a walkthrough, and I can't restart it because I've already decided what books I'm reading. So I'm just going to roll the dice, and even if I don't get the number I need, I'm just going to change it to the number I need so I can show you what prompts I landed on. So let's just jump into it. So because I didn't manage to finish my October TBR, that means I need to go back to the start and then go from there, because as I said, this is a punishment for not finishing my TBR. So roll number 1 needs to be a 6, but let's see, will I even get a 6? No, I got a 1, so I'm going to change that to a 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this meant I landed on a challenge card, which was this prompt here, and that is to read a signed book. So the first square I landed on was a challenge card, and that challenge was to read a signed book, which is right here. I should probably show it to you rather than just like throwing it around everywhere. Hopefully that's like clear. Yeah, there we go. And the book I've chosen for that is Ghostsmith by Nikki Presso. So this has been on my radar for a while now, because this is the sequel to Bonesmith, and I really just want to wrap up a series, especially with it being the end of 2024. I just feel like I'll feel more completed if I manage to get to this series and finish it up. And Nikki Presso is one of my favourite authors of all time, so I'm really excited to be diving into the finale. Even though I didn't love Bonesmith as much as her other work, I still had a good time, so I definitely want to read this. And this is the Fairy Loot edition, so the signature is just right there, which makes me so happy. So yeah, this is the first book I'll be reading in December. Now it's time for roll number 2, which needs to be a 1. No, this is 3, so we're changing that to a 1. So ready? 1. And it's a character card, which is this one here. Let's see who it is. So it's Sengoku, and that is to read a book with gold on the cover. And then the next square I landed on was a character card, which was this one here, and that is Sengoku, and that is to read a book with gold on the cover. Yeah, there's the card. So for this, I've chosen End of Days by Susan E. I think, yeah, no, this is definitely gold on the wing, so I'm counting it. Even though the whole book cover's not gold, it's still got gold on it, so it fulfills this prompt. And this is the 3rd and final book in the Angel Fall series. No, I don't think that's what it's called. But the first book is Angel Fall. It's one of my favourite series I've read this whole year. Like, I absolutely adore it so much. They're just such fantastic dystopian reads, which I'm not really a fan of the dystopian genre, but there's something about the way that this story is told, because we're following Penryn when her sister is kidnapped by Angel, which forces her to work together with Raph, who got into a fight with one of the angels who kidnapped Penryn's sister, and then them two are forced to work together to try and get back Penryn's sister. And that's even more information than I knew going into the first book, and I feel like that's all you need to know, because these are the kind of books that are so good to go into blind. And the thing that surprises me so much about these books so far is the fact that I started reading Angel Fall like a couple years ago, didn't get far into it at all, and DNF'd it, but then I picked it back up this year and absolutely loved it, which I was not expecting. So this book is definitely a 5 out of 5 star prediction. Like, if I don't love it, I'm going to be so disappointed. Now it's time for roll number 3, which needs to be a 6, a 1. This is ridiculous. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So it's another character card, and I'll grab this one here and I'll show you who it is. So it's Jinbei, and that is to read a book with a mentor. So the next prompt I landed on was another character card, and this is for Jinbei, and that is to read a book with a mentor figure. So for this, I've chosen Twisted by Emily McIntyre, because on the back it says, but when his mentor falls ill. So obviously it fulfills the prompt because there's a mentor figure somehow present in this story. And this is the 4th book in the Never After series. And these are dark standalone novels which are loosely inspired by the Disney stories. So I think this one is following the Aladdin storyline in a small way, but it's not heavily inspired by them books. So I'm very excited because these are always just a good palette cleanser because they're just so quick to read, and they're just fun. Like, there's not the greatest books out there, but they're just a good time. So I'm so excited to have this book on my TBR. Now it's time for roll number 4, which needs to be a 4 and a 6. No, I want a 4. 1, 2, 3. Wait. 1, 2, 3, 4. I was so confused, and I'm like, why is that not making sense? So it's a challenge card, and I'll grab it. So let's see what the challenge is. So the challenge is to read a book that starts with the same letter as my last read began with. So as you would have seen, I landed on a challenge card, which was this prompt here, and that is to read a book that starts with the same letter as your last read began with. So the last book I read was Things We Hide from the Light. I think that's what it's called. The 2nd book in the Knock 'em Out series. So obviously the first letter for that is T. So the book I've chosen is The Hurricane Wars by Thea Gunnarsson. I don't know how to say that name. Obviously I need to learn. But this is the first book in a series which I'm so hyped to read, because it's just been calling out my name, because I've actually got the Fairy Loot edition as well, which I'm thinking of probably getting rid of because I didn't manage to get my hands on the sequel because I haven't read this one, which was one of my rules for Project TBR 0, was not to buy a sequel of an edition where I haven't read the first book. But then I've also bought the paperback because I think I'm just going to start collecting the paperbacks rather than the special editions. And I'm so excited by this. I know it's a Raylo inspired fantasy, but I honestly know nothing about Star Wars. I've never watched a Star Wars movie. So like, I don't feel like that's going to impact my experience of this book because I literally don't know what it's inspired by. But it's just, I don't know anything about it, but there's something about this cover that just speaks to me in every aspect. Like, I love it so much. And this is such a floppy paperback, so I'm absolutely obsessed. So this is the next book I've chosen. So now it's time for roll number 5, which also needs to be a 4. No, it's a 3, so let's change that to a 4, and then I'll move 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's a character card, so I'll grab the character and let's see who it is. So it's Bonnie, and that is to read a book with food or drink on the cover. So the next card I landed on was a character card, and that is for Bonnie, and that is to read a book with food or drink on the cover. So for this, I've chosen The Road of Bones by Demi Winters, because on the cover it's got mushrooms, and when I saw it had mushrooms on it, I was so unbelievably happy because I want to read this book so badly. There's just something about it that is calling out my name. Like, all I want to do is sit down and read this book. I don't know if it's because it's a Viking inspired fantasy, which I actually don't think I've read any, so I'm really hoping that this book just blows me out of the water. I hope it's something very unique for me because as I said, I haven't read any Viking inspired fantasies, and I don't know what it is, but I just feel like I'm going to love this book. So it's definitely a 5-star prediction. I don't know what it is because I don't even know what the plot is about. It's just there's something about it that is calling out my name and makes me want to pick it up so badly. So that's the next book on my December TBR, and I honestly cannot wait. Like, I just want to read this book so much. And then for my final roll, I ended up getting a 2, so I'm just going to roll and hope for a 2, and if I don't get it, it's fine because I'll just change it. So I'll move here. So 1, 2. That meant I landed on a pink skull, and because it's a pink skull, I need to choose a book out of my TBR jar, which has 10 book titles, which I'm really interested in picking up at this point in time. So I'm just going to randomly select one out of the 10, and you'll see what book that will be in the next clip. So as you would have seen for my final roll, I landed on a pink skull, which means I need to use my TBR jar, which has 10 book titles in here, which I'm really excited to read, and I'm just going to randomly select one, and that will be my 6th and final book on my TBR from One Piece Pick a Book. So let's see what that book will be. So first I'm going to give them a good shuffle. Let's just shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. Oh, should I go for this one? Shuffle, shuffle, shuffle. No, obviously I chose I didn't want to keep shuffling. No, I don't know which one. Let's go for this one. Okay, I'm a bit scared. I don't know what it's going to be. Let's have a look. Wait, what is this? I'll show you guys first. So, oh, there we go. Oh my god. I'm so excited. So this is Airy, I think that's how you say it, by S.C. Wendell, sorry. So this is a book that I just saw on Kindle Unlimited, and the cover is stunning. Obviously I'll have a picture up as I'm speaking now, but it was so beautiful, and all I wanted to do was read it. Like, it's just stunning. I don't know what it's about. There's just something about that cover which makes me so excited. So I'm so glad to be reading this, and especially because I'm always looking for a Kindle book of a nighttime, because that's my preferred method of reading. So the fact that I've now got the Kindle book makes me so happy. The only downside of this book is I don't own a physical copy of it, so it's not really helping me with Project TBR 0, which is my goal to get my TBR down to 0, which is sad, but it's fine. So I am so excited that this is the book that was chosen. So yeah, this was my 6th and final book for One Piece Pick a Book. However, there's still more books I would like to read in December, because I've just got a couple books on my list which I really want to get to, and I'll go through them now with you all quickly. I'm not going to go in depth with these books, I just really want to talk you through them quickly. So the next book is Terms and Conditions by Lauren Asher. I read the fine print in a couple months ago, loved it, a 5 out of 5 star read, completely shocked me. I don't know what it was about that first book, it was just so good. So I've been really scared going into this novel, because I feel like I'm not going to love it as much as I've loved the first one, but I can't put it off any longer, because the main reason I wanted to read this book is Lauren Asher has written a companion series, I think, where it's got Love redesigned maybe, and them covers are absolutely stunning, and I just want to read them so bad. But before I do that, I really want to read the books of hers that I already own. So I need to read this, and hopefully I'll love it, because as I said, I love the fine print. I'm just very nervous, but I feel like it's going to be a good read, because if I can make my way through Things We Hide in the Light and Things We Never Got Over, I'm going to love this book, because I really did not enjoy them, and I enjoyed the fine print so much more. So I'm really hoping that I just love this book, because I am excited about the couple, but I just fell so head over heels in love with the two main characters of the first book. I really like the dynamic between them two. I like the chemistry, I like the way that they interacted, how they grew as people. So I'm really hoping we get the same in this. I'm just very scared. Then the next book is The Striker by Anna Huang. And honestly, I don't know why this book is so big. It is massive, and I just need to find out why. Like, why is it a nearly 600-page book for a sports romance? Like, why? I need to know. Like, what is it? Is there going to be lots of drama? And I'm really hoping that the couple doesn't get together too quickly. However, I'm hoping I love this book. Like, I really do. Because, like, I've got the deluxe version. It's massive. I can quickly fly through it because it's a romance novel. So I'm just hoping that this is a quick read. But I am a bit intimidated, because I've seen lots of the reviews on Goodreads were fairly negative. But I'm kind of trying to keep an open mind and just hoping I do love this book. So now we're up to the final book of this TBR, and that is Bonded by Fawns by Elizabeth Helen. I'm so excited to read this book, because I know that this is a reverse harem Beauty and the Beast retelling, which is a storyline I've read so many times in retellings. Like, people love a Beauty and the Beast retelling. So I'm really hoping that the reverse harem elements of these novels gives it a new twist, because as I said, I feel like I've read so many Beauty and the Beast inspired fantasies where I'm just kind of hoping for something different when it comes to that story, which I'm really hoping I will get in this book. And even if I don't, I'm hoping I'll get it in the later books, because the books just get longer and longer, and I've just got a feeling that I'm absolutely going to love this book, and I don't know what it is, why it is. I just cannot wait to pick this book up. So I'm just going to quickly show you all of the books on my TBR, and I honestly don't know who I think I am. Like, how the hell do I think I'm going to get through all of these books? So I've got Bonded by Thorns, The Road of Bones, The Hurricane Wars, Ghostsmith, End of Days, Twisted, Terms and Conditions, and The Striker. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's only 8 books, and I normally read like on average 10 like recently, so I'm hoping I keep that up and I'm able to get through all of these books, because I've obviously put them on this TBR for a reason. And now I'm just going to wrap up this video by saying I hope to see you in my next one. Bye.